Hello lads, today we are going to be going over the iceberg of me country, Ireland. We will be talking about Irish history, Irish culture, Irish life, etc. Anyway, grab your pot of gold, your lucky charms and enjoy the show. Leprechaun. A leprechaun is a small, mischievous fairy from Irish folklore, often depicted as a bearded old man wearing a green coat and hat. They are famous for being shoemakers who hide pots of gold at the end of rainbows. According to legend, if you catch a leprechaun, he must grant you 3 wishes or give you his treasure in exchange for freedom. St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on March 17th each year to honour St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, who is credited with bringing Christianity to the country. It's a cultural and religious holiday, marked by parades, wearing green, and various festivities celebrating Irish heritage around the world. Symbols like shamrocks, leprechauns, and pots of gold are commonly associated with the day. Irish Potato Famine. The Irish Potato Famine, also known as the Great Famine, happened between 1845 and 1852, when a potato disease called late blight destroyed much of Ireland's potato crop, which was the main food source for many people. The famine led to the deaths of around 1 million people due to starvation and disease, and caused another million to emigrate, drastically reducing Ireland's population. The British government's inadequate response worsened the crisis, leading to lasting social and political effects in Ireland. Dublin. Dublin is the capital and largest city of Ireland, located on the east coast, where the River Liffey meets the Irish Sea. It's known for its rich history, vibrant culture, and as a centre for literature, music and education, home to famous writers like James Joyce and Samuel Beckett. Dublin features iconic landmarks such as Trinity College, the Guinness Storehouse, and Dublin Castle. Gaelic football. Gaelic football is a popular, traditional Irish sport that combines elements of soccer, rugby, and basketball. Played with a round ball, teams of 15 players try to score by either kicking or punching the ball into the opponent's goal or over the crossbar between 2 posts. It's fast-paced and highly physical, played mostly in Ireland, but also by Irish communities worldwide. Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is an Irish mixed martial artist and former professional boxer, known for his brash personality and powerful striking. Born in Dublin in 1988, he rose to fame in the UFC by becoming the first fighter to hold 2 titles simultaneously, in the featherweight and lightweight divisions. McGregor is famous not only for his fighting skills, but also for his trash talk and showmanship, which have made him one of the biggest stars in combat sports worldwide. The Troubles. The Troubles was a violent conflict in Northern Ireland that lasted from the late 1960s to 1998, rooted in political and national identity tensions between mainly Protestant Unionists who wanted to remain part of the United Kingdom and mainly Catholic nationalists who wanted a united Ireland. It involved paramilitary groups, the British Army and police forces, leading to over 3,500 deaths. Daily life was marked by bombings, shootings and riots, making it one of the most intense periods of conflict in modern European history. Celtic Cross. A Celtic cross is a traditional symbol from Ireland and other Celtic regions, recognisable by its cross shape with a circular ring surrounding the intersection. It blends Christian symbolism with earlier Celtic art, often decorated with intricate knotwork and patterns. These crosses were originally carved in stone and placed at monasteries, graveyards and important religious sites during the early medieval period. Blarney Stone. The Blarney Stone is a famous block of limestone built into the battlements of Blarney Castle in County Cork, Ireland. According to legend, anyone who kisses the stone is granted the gift of the gab, the ability to speak eloquently and persuasively. Visitors traditionally lean backward over a drop to kiss it, helped by an attendant. Diaspora. The Irish diaspora refers to the millions of people of Irish origin who left Ireland and settled around the world, especially in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. Large waves of emigration happened during and after the Great Famine in the 1800s, when many fled starvation and poverty. Over time, Irish communities abroad kept strong cultural ties through music, religion, festivals, and traditions. Irish Republican Army. The Irish Republican Army was an Irish paramilitary organisation that sought to end British rule in Northern Ireland and unite Ireland as a single independent republic. Its origins trace back to the Irish War of Independence, but over the 20th century the name IRA referred to several groups with similar goals. During the Troubles, late 1960s to 1998, the Provisional IRA became the most active faction, carrying out bombings, shootings, and guerrilla attacks against British forces and Unionist targets. Easter Rising. The Easter Rising was a 1916 armed rebellion by Irish Republicans against British rule, aiming to establish an independent Irish Republic. It took place mainly in Dublin during Easter week and was led by groups like the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army. Although the uprising was quickly suppressed, the execution of its leaders sparked widespread public support for Irish independence. The Pale. The Pale was a region around Dublin during the late Middle Ages, where English law and control were firmly established in Ireland. It was a fortified area that served as the centre of English power, contrasting with the Gaelic Irish territories beyond it, which remained largely independent. People living in the Pale were known as the English of Ireland, and the area was culturally and politically distinct from the rest of the country. The Book of Kells. The Book of Kells is a beautifully illustrated manuscript created by Celtic monks around the 9th century, containing the 4 Gospels of the New Testament. It is famous for its intricate and colourful artwork, combining Christian iconography with traditional Celtic designs and symbolism. The manuscript is considered one of Ireland's greatest cultural treasures and a masterpiece of medieval art. Gaelic Revival. The Gaelic Revival was a cultural movement in late 19th and early 20th century Ireland aimed at reviving the Irish language, traditional Irish arts, and national identity. It emerged partly as a response to centuries of British rule and the decline of the Irish language. Organisations like the Gaelic League promoted Irish language education, literature, music, and sports to strengthen Irish heritage. Michael Collins. Michael Collins was a key Irish revolutionary leader and politician who played a major role in Ireland's struggle for independence from British rule in the early 20th century. He was a leading figure in the Irish Republican Army during the War of Independence and later helped negotiate the Anglo-Irish Treaty in 1921, which established the Irish Free State. Collins became the first chairman of the Provisional Government, but was assassinated in 1922 during the Irish Civil War, a conflict sparked by disagreements over the treaty. Cromwell in Ireland. Oliver Cromwell's campaign in Ireland was a brutal military conquest carried out during the English Civil Wars. He came to Ireland to defeat Royalist and Irish Confederate forces, and his army became infamous for harsh sieges at Drogheda and Wexford, where mass killings occurred. Cromwell also imposed severe land confiscations, forcing many Irish Catholics off their land and resettling them west of the River Shannon, summed up by the phrase, "to hell or to Connacht." Flight of the Earls. The flight of the Earls took place in 1607, when two major Irish leaders, Hugh O'Neill and Rory O'Donnell, fled Ireland with nearly 100 followers. They left because they feared arrest and loss of power after losing influence to English rule. Their departure marked the end of the old Gaelic aristocracy that had dominated Ireland for centuries. The Penal Laws. The penal laws were a series of harsh laws imposed mainly in the 17th and 18th centuries to restrict the rights of Irish Catholics under British rule. These laws limited Catholics' ability to own land, vote, hold public office, get an education, or openly practice their religion. The goal was to weaken Catholic political power and force conformity to the Anglican Church. The Wild Geese. The Wild Geese refers to Irish soldiers who left Ireland to serve in foreign armies after major military defeats, especially following the Treaty of Limerick in 1691. When the Jacobite forces lost to William III, around 14,000 Irish troops departed for France to continue fighting for the Jacobite cause. Over time, the term came to describe generations of Irish soldiers who served in European armies, particularly France, Spain, and Austria, because they had no future under British rule at home. The Irish Free State. The Irish Free State was established in 1922 as a self-governing dominion within the British Commonwealth, following the Anglo-Irish Treaty that ended the Irish War of Independence. It marked Ireland's transition from British rule to partial independence, with its own parliament and government, though it still recognised the British monarch. The Free State included most of Ireland except Northern Ireland, which remained part of the UK. The Black and Tan. The Black and Tans were a paramilitary force recruited by the British government in 1920 to help suppress the Irish War of Independence. Made up mostly of unemployed World War I veterans, they were given mismatched uniforms, black police caps and tan army khakis, which inspired their nickname. They became infamous for their brutal tactics, including reprisals, arson, and violence against civilians, which turned Irish public opinion even more strongly toward independence. Ulster Convenient. The Ulster Covenant was a declaration signed on the 28th of September 1912 by nearly 500,000 Unionists in Ulster who opposed Home Rule for Ireland. The signers, mostly Protestant and pro-British, vowed to use all means which may be found necessary to maintain the union with Great Britain. It became a massive political and symbolic moment, showing the depth of Unionist resistance to Irish self-government. Treaty ports. The treaty ports were three deep-water naval bases in Ireland, Cove, Beerhaven and Lough Swilly, that Britain kept control of after the 1921 Anglo-Irish Treaty. They allowed the British Royal Navy to continue operating around Ireland for strategic defence, even though the Irish Free State had become largely independent. Their presence was unpopular in Ireland because it limited full sovereignty and kept British forces on Irish soil. Irish Boundary Commission. The Irish Boundary Commission was set up in 1924 to determine the exact border between the Irish Free State and Northern Ireland, as promised in the 1921 Anglo-Irish Treaty. It was expected by many nationalists that the Commission would transfer large Catholic majority areas from Northern Ireland to the Free State. However, when the Commission's report leaked in 1925, it showed only minor changes, some even favouring Northern Ireland, causing political uproar. Fenian Brotherhood. The Fenian Brotherhood was an Irish nationalist organisation founded in the United States in 1858 as the American counterpart to the Irish Republican Brotherhood. Its goal was to support the fight for Irish independence from Britain, mainly by raising money, recruiting members, and planning armed actions. The Fenians even launched raids into Canada in the 1860s, hoping to pressure Britain by attacking one of its colonies. The Kingdom of Midday. The Kingdom of Midday, pronounced Meath, was a medieval Irish kingdom located in the centre of the island, roughly corresponding to modern County Meath and parts of Westmeath. It was traditionally the seat of the High Kings of Ireland, centred around the hill of Tara. Midday was ruled for centuries by the powerful Clan Colmain branch of the southern Neil dynasty. Synod of Whitby. The Synod of Whitby had a major impact on the Irish Church and its relationship with Rome. The Synod was called to decide whether the Church in England would follow the Roman or the Celtic method for calculating the date of Easter and other practices. King Oswiu of Northumbria decided in favour of the Roman tradition, which gradually led to the Irish Church aligning more closely with Roman customs. Annals of the Four Masters. The Annals of the Four Masters is a chronicle of Irish history compiled in the early 17th century by a group of Franciscan monks led by Brother Michael O'Clery. It records events in Ireland from ancient times up to 1616, drawing on earlier manuscripts and oral tradition. The Annals are one of the most important sources for medieval and early modern Irish history, preserving legends, battles, genealogies, and key historical moments. The Desmond Rebellion. The Desmond Rebellions were two major uprisings in Southern Ireland, led by John Fitzgerald of Desmond, against English rule and efforts to impose Protestantism. The rebellions were fueled by resistance to English encroachment on traditional Gaelic and Old English lands and culture. Both rebellions were brutally suppressed by English forces, resulting in widespread destruction, loss of life, and the confiscation of Desmond lands. Ulster Scots Plantation. The Ulster Scots Plantation, often called the Plantation of Ulster, was a planned colonisation during the early 1600s, where the English crown settled mainly Scottish Protestant farmers and artisans in Ulster, the northern province of Ireland. This was done after the flight of the Earls and the defeat of Gaelic lords, to control the region and prevent further rebellion. The plantation dramatically changed Ulster's demographics, culture and religion, introducing a large Protestant community alongside the native Irish Catholic population. And that was the end of the Ireland Iceberg. Hoped you like it, and bye!